This is absolutely a huge update on the One Piece card game. We guys told you red is too strong of a color in this set. It's been way too dominant. Zoro, Whitebeard, Ace has been able to do so much work with the Whitebeard lineup. Marcos are really doing insane amounts of work. And I guess this is the response from Bandai. They went ahead and restricted a bunch of red cards. We're going to talk about them, see if this is the right idea. Let's just jump right in, boys. As you can see, brand new July 21st, literally today, banned restricted card edition notice. There are two groups when this happens. Banned cards and restricted cards. When a card is banned, it's not permitted in all decks used, while a restricted card means only one card is permitted in the deck. So they went ahead and restricted 3 cards. One of them was New Gate 9-drop, which is insane. Whitebeard Pyro right now is going to struggle heavy, especially because we see so many Whitebeard Pyros running 4 of this card. Now they're only allowed to run 1. It's going to be hard to search for, even though they have a ton of search. But they even explain here, when this card combined with Edward Newgate, set to 2 leader, or Zoro, the durability of up to one of your leader gains plus 2000 power until the start of next turn. Then you cannot add life, afforded players a substantial advantage against their opponent. Furthermore, using this card with cards such as Radical Beam and Card Point enhance this durability even further. I guess their problem is with Radical Beam, really. In addition, the introduction of OP03 𝐖𝐈𝐓 made it possible to replicate the situation with a high degree of probability. Due to the above, this card has a high usage and win rate in tournaments, and we have determined that it impedes the offensive and defensive tactics that are essential to the enjoyment of One Piece card game. As a result, has been decided to designate the card as restricted. Please note this restriction may be lifted upon the release of OP4. Okay, so they could still release these restrictions, but let's show you the next restriction. Marco, of course, Marco is going to be restricted. This is actually crazy, guys, because we were talking about how strong Zoro is. We've been seeing it in so many tops of so many recent tournaments. So it's amazing to see how Bandai responded so quickly to this absolute dominance. For this one, it's going to be a bit of a different reason. Marco is restricted because this card combined with the Edward Newgate or Zoro leader on its KO effect served as key function to boosting the deck's durability, and combining it with cards such as Radical Beam and Guard Point resulted in high durability. In addition, the introduction of 𝐖𝐈𝐓 made it possible to replicate the situation with a high degree of probability. So kind of the same reason, just gives the deck durability. Makes sense. Marcos is insanely strong, doesn't leave the field after he lands, allows the deck, Zoro decks to really stay pushing strong. And the other Marco is really another issue too, but I guess this Marco is a bigger issue. This Marco is the biggest issue because it's hard to deal with. Finally, they went ahead and restricted the Radical Beam to 1, which is a devastating news to me. This is one of my favorite events to counter with, and it sucks that there's only 1 off right now. Let's see the reasoning of this. When combined with Zoro or Whitebeard and built into a deck with Guard Point, this card greatly improved the deck's overall durability, despite having a cost of 1 in addition. Achieving the condition if you have 2 or less live cards became easier when used with the above cards. I guess in Whitebeard decks this was too easy to use. I don't get this. Hopefully, I mean, I think this restriction, obviously, this market restriction is going to be the heaviest one. Whitebeard, I think it's a non-necessary restriction here. I don't think they had to restrict Radical Beam at all either. These are cards now that are going to lose a lot of their playability. I mean, why would you restrict some of the best cards in the game right now? I get the Marco ban. Marco is just kind of it's absolutely imbalanced. He just stays on the field and a blocker and can attack. And Zoro can pump him up to 6 easy. Newgate, I don't get this restriction at all. It's really hard to push out a Newgate. When you push out a Newgate, that's literally all you can do that turn. If you're going to go ahead and restrict Newgate, how about you restrict Big Mama's house then too, the 10-drop? What the hell? And then Radical Beam here, absolutely don't understand this either. The Radical Beam is not the reason most of these decks are winning. That's not the case. It's just weird that they're targeted the Radical Beam. But I get it. You gain insane value from it for 1+4. 1 down plus 4 is huge. Really, this one is the one that's I'm not understanding at all. Why would they even restrict Newgate? This makes no sense. You know, most decks that are not going to be able to run Marco are not going to be running Newgate anyways. Just weird. Looks like a very targeted, obviously very targeted against Red. Red's been extremely dominating in recent events. Makes sense why they're trying to target Red down. Guys, I'm interested in your opinions. What do you think about these restrictions? Are you cool with them? Do you like them? Are you kind of angry now that you got to switch decks out? We've been talking to a lot of really good players, interviewing them. I think this is going to hurt a lot of decks. Interested in your opinions, guys. Leave them down below.